Okay, we'll call policy and governance to order. All three districts are present. Notice of the meeting was properly posted on December 8th, 2025. Item 1, is there a motion to approve the minutes of November 25th?
So move.
For a second?
I plan to abstain.
I'll second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 2, December 2025 BOCC Employee of the Month. How are you?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. That's a fine option right there.
Are you saying that because?
No, he's great. He really is.
Yes, we know. I make a motion to accept option A for Employee of the Month.
And I'll second.
Okay, item 3, Oklahoma County's ARPA funding allocation. We have Danielle online. Ready to go whenever you are, Danielle.
Me. Okay, perfect. So we'll do the same thing we did last time for presentation today. I will do screen share. So if you will do a motion to accept the presentation, I'll go ahead and share my screen and we'll walk through it and make sure everybody has a copy.
I make a motion to accept the presentation.
And second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. All right, now let's get it loaded up and see. Okay, here we go. Okay, great. Is it populated on the screen? Okay, wonderful. So as usual, this is just our overview of the status for our ARPA projects over the past month. We're going to do like a really brief, fun status overview and just some very fast year-end updates since it's already December, which is hard to believe. And then talking about just some of the desk reviews and site visits we've been able to complete, and then one small reporting update as well. With that, we'll jump directly into our fund status. So this is, again, using the liquidated numbers for Oklahoma County. So there is always going to be a difference between your liquidated number and the total subrecipient expenditure, but this is reflecting the dollars that are out of the Oklahoma County bank account. So the authorized and obligated number, that hasn't changed since the end of 2024. That remains the same. Our liquidated is up to 71.6%. So again, those are the dollars completely out of your bank account, which leaves almost 44 to spend that's remaining. Again, of course, a large portion of that always being the BCC. And so we will continue to monitor, and we know that there are expenditures that are going with that. I know even in this past quarter, there was a couple million that was spent on that project. So expecting that to continue without concern. And we are continuing with our subrecipients as well. We'll look at what that means when we're looking at projects as a whole. So again, this is based off of that dollars out of the county bank account. So this isn't necessarily looking at, hey, we've closed out projects. That's what's showing as 100% completed. But really that is the 104 projects have received all of their funding. And so we have 104 that are at that 100% amount. We have 23 that are not quite at 100%, but have done more than 50% of this. Then we have our 10 left that are under the 50%, and then 4 that have just not expended quite yet. Of those 4, 3 of them are a community project, and then 1 of them is the county record retention project, which I know we'll be getting billed for in the near future, as the county was recently going through the finalization with those program managers. So really only looking at 3 projects on our community side that are going to need a little bit of an extra push as we continue getting things out the door and want to make sure we meet the spending deadline for the end of next year, which is crazy to believe. We are only 388, as of today, we are only 388 days away from the 31st of December 2026, which, as you all know, is that expenditure deadline. Something we have talked about and we'll be talking with our subrecipients about on the compliance webinar this Thursday is the importance of really trying to get the dollars spent, obviously, prior to this date. We're going to really try and push forward that invoicing be compiled and provided to our team by October 31st. That way we can commence with the closeout paperwork that's required, and so that those items aren't something that are lingering following the expenditure deadline. We can get as many closed out prior to that deadline. That takes us just quickly over, the expenditures. This is our very, very fast year-end updates. A lot of this is going to be relevant to why we are pushing for that October 31st with our subrecipients because of the number of active projects we do have going on. There are still several community projects that are ongoing and are likely to see some other ones potentially open back up as funding is moved around. So really wanting to make sure, since it's, pretty much 3/4 of the projects that are still moving, that we are able to close them out and then that does not become a requirement or burden for the county, but rather something we can complete on the front end. And the things that we are going to continue to be doing over this past, this is really only a 6-month overview. We've brought in those additional funding for new projects. We have done 72 site visits and desk reviews. So those are synonymous. Site visits is just when we get to actually be on the ground in Oklahoma. The desk reviews are the things we do on teams. We've done 49 project confirmations. So this is just, refining those scopes with the subrecipient, making sure as they've gotten additional funding or made changes to their budgets, that it all still aligns with their eligible uses. As noted, the additional 18 projects that we have been working with and expecting more to receive those additional funding. We always do a design thinking workshop each year, just kind of get a sense of how the funds are flowing through the community and how it's impacting the community as a whole. And then we do ongoing invoice review. So for our medium and high risk, we always have to do a review of invoices in order for the county to release payment. But we also do kind of a spot check with our low risk, so we don't let them just kind of trail off on their own. So we have gone ahead and we have done 30 low risk invoice reviews over the past 6 months as well. So making sure that what they've spent on aligns with what their budget categories told us they were. And those are the things we will continue to do throughout this year as we are getting prepared again for those additional closeouts. So those project confirmations, it's probably very hard to see. These are very detailed. It's us going in and we are clarifying again, like, hey, these are the KPIs that are being tracked. Is this still correct? If we need to make a budget modification, this is the time to do it. And that is just when, things are fluctuating by 10% or more within the already designated budget categories. This is also where we are confirming that what they have reported for their quarterly reports adds up and is accurate. And you'll see also below that, this is where we're doing our invoice checking. Some are a little bit faster than others. Some have large expenses. Other subrecipients have small expenses and they have a lot of them. So this is our way of monitoring those and making sure that they follow those processes as well. So these are the items that maybe not every day everybody in the county gets to see or wants to see, but these are the details that we do go into in depth with each of the subrecipients throughout this monitoring process. And this is also one of the forms we use for the community projects when we're doing those site visits. So each of these pictures you're seeing is a separate tab within these deliverables that we have when we're working with the subrecipients to make sure everything is in ship shape. So just wanted to give everybody kind of that insight on our day-to-day as we work through, the program throughout the past couple of years and moving forward as well. I'm going to jump over into just general subrecipient management updates. This is going to be the desk review, information, site visit, just the feel-good stuff about our subrecipients. But before I do that, I want to make sure I take a moment to pause if anybody has any questions about just general fund status, and then close out and ongoing projects. All right, we'll go into our subrecipients then. So on this right-hand side, you're going to see a little figurine. This is part of the stop motion animation that is going on at Art Space. So they'll be the first one we'll talk about today. As I noted, this is they offer a stop motion animation course for students. This course offers all sorts of skills. It allows them to learn storyboarding, set design, of course, things like team building, various animation softwares, knowing how to build puppets, use lighting. It's very, very expansive. And these skills are transferable from this course into future educational opportunities and those real world experiences that these students hopefully will have in the future to put these skills to use in the stop motion world. A lot of the funding is really going towards the fact that there are instances in many cases where lower income students are just generally at a disadvantage in obtaining access to these types of courses or being able to access this type of technology. And so these funds are helping reduce that barrier to entry by being able to bring more students in without the cost falling on the students themselves. So an exciting way to make sure that all of our kids in Oklahoma County are continuing to get opportunities and are really growing the industry there. I know that this is one of those, the film industry is ever growing in Oklahoma County. So these will be our bright stars there in the future. The next one we'll just take a quick little overview at is Cardinal Community House. So this is a respite care center that I know the county is well aware of. This is a service that is being used to help those that are unhoused, that are facing some sort of illness or injury and are needing that additional support to get back up on their feet. So this project is really focusing on making sure that there is that safe environment that supports the recovery process. And throughout that recovery process, that all of the important amenities that somebody might need to get healthy or to get on their feet are provided. So these are things such as room and board. It can be your meals, it's utilities, it's clothing, toiletries, and then of course things like on-site classes for substance abuse and management, and also case management. So helping people find stable housing, helping them find their birth certificates, how to get their own ID cards and items like that. So helping our unhoused individuals get back healthy and be successful as they are moving forward in our communities. Eastside Pride Wrestling Club. This is a nonprofit organization that has been really working towards creating positive physical and mental development for youth in the Oklahoma Northeast side. This program is very complex. It's not necessarily just a wrestling program. A portion of what they have done with their ARPA funds was actually for some iPads and software to help these students with tutoring. And so this is an opportunity, again, for low-income individuals to come in. They are able to get free tutoring from volunteers, while then at the same time creating a sense of community amongst themselves and with their peers by taking part in this wrestling experience. The 2024 impact report was shared with us when we were at the site visit. And the amount of growth that this program has had in a very short amount of time was very impressive, to be completely frank. And so they have definitely done a really good job of utilizing their funding to provide these essential tutoring services and really being able to reach a multitude of children. The Edmond History Museum, I know that this slide looks very chaotic. The general gist of what they are doing is they are using their funds to expand on their children's room. And so the goal at the Edmond History Museum is to kind of keep that preservation of the Edmond rich history, since, the museum stands kind of as a overview of the past. And so what these pictures are showing is that they're trying to formulate this children's playroom with a vision of all of these important pieces that really make up Oklahoma or Edmond and Oklahoma as itself. And so I've actually seen the potential renditions of the children's facility, but this was just kind of the thought processing behind it, and it looks really, really incredible. What the process will look like is individuals and families will be able to come in. It's set up kind of like a railroad track, and then you'll go in through different portions of the facility that kind of show you this, hey, this is what the general store used to look like. Here is how the flour mill and the ice house has been influential in Edmond, and things like that as well. So it really follows a path of storytelling. And so that will be really exciting for that to come about. And again, this is a completely free museum for individuals and families to attend. So very exciting to have another opportunity for that growth and learning for young children. Fostering Sweet Dreams. This is, again, also a nonprofit organization, and they are focused on really meeting tangible needs for children that are vulnerable or in crisis. They do have a emphasis on children that are in the foster care system, but they are not only serving children in the foster care system. And with the ARPA funds that they have been able to utilize, they were already able to provide 187 new beds to children's. So this is anything from cribs, toddler beds, or twin beds that they have been able to provide to these vulnerable children in Oklahoma. The Sparrow Project. The Sparrow Project focuses on rental assistance for refugees. So the primary need for these services is being used to be able to provide up to $1,500 to a family that is in need of rental assistance. They have a very extensive background in how they know that individuals have come into Oklahoma County, how they know what resources to provide. And so they have a really expansive network throughout the community of getting individuals together and providing them with those resources and knowing where to find others like them within the Oklahoma community. And of course, always important to think through and know those pieces when it comes to evidence-based intervention and how important it is shown that research does support that sustainable housing and security. It leads to so many positive physical and mental outcomes into the future. So really protecting our communities. And then the last one I'll give you an overview on, and we have done so many different site visits and desk reviews this year. The ARPA funds are being used to expand upon the program by enhancing the collaboration that the Urban Bridge has with the Bridge Impact Center, which is on their campus of schools. And so what they're able to do is offer group therapies, they offer family therapy, crisis intervention, telehealth services, and these are all provided by licensed professionals. And so the funding that they have been able to use has allowed them to provide these services to more individuals by being able to cover the cost of these licensed practitioners to help these students and families and be resilient within the community. This is, again, another picture from the Fostering Sweet Dreams. That's one of the cribs that they were able to purchase. And then lastly, we're going to jump into the reporting timeline. So a very important note, of course, we have always been doing ongoing quarterly reporting. We have been doing ongoing annual reporting. As of the most recent Treasury guidance that has been put out during the last reporting cycle or most current reporting cycle, they will still be collecting quarterly reporting data as usual. There will be no change in that, but the Department of Treasury will no longer be requiring the annual recovery performance plan. So that is the annual plan we do at the midsection of each year. That's that real long, somewhere between 200 to 400 pages. It just has depended upon the number of projects. So that is no longer going to be something that the Treasury asks be submitted into the portal. So that's something to be aware of. That is a change that we have seen. But the regular quarterly reporting remains the same, and that will remain the same as we are beginning to collect reporting. As I said, we have our compliance webinar again on Thursday, and then we will be requesting given the holidays, and then we know that we get into New Year's, normally we push to have all of our quarterly reporting data within about 3 to 5 days of the newest month. But we're giving people until about the 11th or so of January, given just the holiday timelines and those constructs that prevent people from being able to close out their books as quickly. But again, we'll be continuing to collect all of this information in the quarterly reporting. We continue with our quarterly reporting to still track those KPIs and outcomes and things like that. Just letting everybody know the difference now being that there will not be a required annual report. That's all I had for today. Happy to take any questions about that change in reporting or just generally about our programs.
Thank you, Danny.
Absolutely. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it, Danny. Thank you. Okay, move on to item number 4, status report on ARPA project cremations and burials. Jessica.
So we have Christine here today in case you have any questions for her as well. But as Danny mentioned, that we'll be going over the different projects, ARPA projects that could possibly have funds remaining closer to closeout. And so Christine has done a great job providing monthly reporting in regards to where we're at in regards to the need for cremation and burials. And so she created a report that is a trend report that will show us where we're at as of today, and then where we'd be ending if we were basing on a higher volume of around 18 approved cremations per month. That we would have roughly $26,390 remaining at the end of December of 2026. Now that's a high volume. The actual average is around 13 if you base it off of since the program's existence. So you could have up to 60,000 remaining funds. And so I just wanted to bring that to your attention. And then Christine also, speaking for her, she would like to increase the rate for the funeral homes from $385 per person to $400. We did give them a rate increase in November of this year. We took them from $365 to $385 and would like to increase it to $400 just because of the increase of inflation and cost. They're actually waiving the medical exam fee, which is, I believe, has increased to $250 or still $200, $225. And so costs are going up, and so we just want to make sure that that we are at least trying to cover some of this cost for our funeral homes.
You said I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You said the last time we did an increase was November of this year, so just last month?
Yeah, well, November of 2024.
Okay, so
Sorry.
a year ago.
A year ago.
Christine, question for you. Come on up. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm not mistaken, we were averaging, before 2025, weren't we averaging like 8 per month?
No,
That was not the average prior to
No.
2025?
no,
What was the
no.
average?
The last time it was 8 is when we had disbanded the program,
Mhm.
and I had 8 waiting. That like,
Oh, you
what
had-
do we,
okay,
what do we do? but
your,
no,
your
it's-
traditional average is about 13. So
It can range anywhere between 13 and 21. I mean, I think 21 is the kind of the highest that I've seen lately. That was in August, July of 2025. But we have applicants. You're looking at 30, 40 applicants a month.
is that pretty standard? Yeah. Okay. I was just curious because for some reason, it stuck in my head that there was 8, and I was looking at these
No.
numbers. Like, why big increase?
No, not at all.
Okay. Any questions? Nope. Okay.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So we'll just need direction if you'd like for us to increase that to $400 effective next month.
With the amount that we anticipate we're gonna have left over at 18 per month, I don't see an issue with it personally.
When we increased it a year ago, do we know how much we increased it at that time? Okay.
We increased it. It started at 365, then we went up to 385, and now we're asking for 400.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll go ahead and make a motion to recommend adjusting it to 400.
And I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then regarding the remaining balance of funds, would you like to just wait until we get a little bit closer to the deadline in order to reallocate those funds?
Personally, I'd like you to come back maybe 6 months
Okay.
prior in June, July of 2026 and see where we're at that point.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, see no sign up for citizen participation. Any board comments or new business?
I don't.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Man, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.